Hey everybody. So today I really want to discuss just what it's like entering the barber industry. The main reason I had been inspired to pretty much make this video is because I was scrolling one day and I seen this guy asking a question, basically like saying he's been cutting hair for like 1 year or close to a year, I want to say, and he's just concerned because he hasn't built up any kind of substantial clientele, and also he has bills to pay. He's a little bit older, he has more responsibilities, so he can't afford to not make money for an extended period of time. And I think this is a huge concern for a lot of people who are thinking of getting into this industry, because the reality is, there's a lot of barbers making good money, for sure. But it takes time. It's something you have to nurture. You don't immediately, get into the barber industry and you're making good money to be able to sustain your life. And based on my experience, I know initially for me, the first couple years, like if I was on my own, I wouldn't be able to do it without some sort of secondary income. I just wasn't making enough money. I would say year 3 is when I started to get in that comfortable area where, like, this could be my only job and this could sustain my life. And the good thing too with barbering, there is no cap to how much you could make. You can make as much as you want. But definitely initially, like, one, you have no trust with clients. Clients don't know you. You don't know how to retain clients. You don't know how to advertise to clients. There's just a huge learning curve when it comes to barbering in the beginning. And a lot of things like I do now without even thinking about it. A brand new barber, it takes them time to actually learn that. And it could be like not even with cutting hair, but the simplest things of like understanding clients, and understanding the language of like clients. You have to learn how to like understand how complex hair is, and then be able to translate that into layman's terms to a client. That way you could achieve the look that they want, and you could communicate how that look would look on them. All that stuff takes a lot of time and effort, and it's definitely not easy. So first off, I want to start off with pretty much the risk. If you're on the higher side of risk, you could tolerate a little bit more risk like I could. And I say for sure, just get into it and just do it. Don't think about it. You'll pretty much figure out if it's for you or if it's not for you, in time. And also, too, that doesn't mean be impatient. It's a process. It takes like a good amount of time. Be patient with it. Don't expect to have that reward of like a fully booked schedule or, consistent clients or even the ability to raise your prices immediately. That definitely takes time. But yeah, if you're able to tolerate risk like I was, like when I first started, I was younger. So I didn't have any real bills. The only bill I want to say I had, no, I didn't have a car note. Did not have any rent to pay or any mortgage to pay. Like my only true bill, I guess, was my gym membership. And like at the time I was going to college, so I would say that was the biggest expense. I was paying for that pretty much by myself, but at the same time, that is not really a huge expense compared to the cost of living, especially now. So if you have low expenses like me, comfortable place to stay, just go into it. Don't worry about anything and learn. Now, for the people who can't risk it all, this is who I really want to talk to. So, if you can't risk it all, whatever you're doing right now to sustain your life, continue doing it. And I would say, get into it by cutting friends and family, seeing how you like it. seeing how that is for you. See if you just genuinely like the craft and what you're doing. That'd be the first step. Just see your interest levels. Now, if you enjoy it, from that point on, start working on the business of it. And I would say start trying to do certain things to see if you could get new clients. The greatest thing starting off, I would definitely say, is your network. So reach out to people, offer them free haircuts, and that's one of the best things because you get to learn from that. You gain experience, and sure, you're cutting their hair for free. You're not getting paid for it, but you're also not paying for that experience. You get to do it for free. For example, a mannequin head is about I'd say $40 or $60, $80, depending on where you're getting it. Versus giving someone a free haircut, you're not paying anything for that, and it's better practice because it's a real person. And once you're consistently doing that, definitely focus in on what you're doing. Fundamentally get better at practical things on like how to cut hair, but I would say more so focus on the business of it. Focus on client retention, seeing what your clients like, seeing how to deliver and solve problems for your clients. That will get you definitely paid more and also allow you to have more clients, more than having a good haircut. And obviously having a good haircut is very important. Like, you're not really going to retain a client if they don't like the way you cut their hair. So that's at the top of the list, but everyone's different. When you're starting off, your price point's obviously going to be lower. So you can focus on just fixing one problem for that client that they don't have to worry about, whether that's like their lineup, like if they want a specific way, or if they like their face to look a certain way. Just focus on solving problems for your specific clients when you're starting off. That way your retention is higher. And not only that, when you fix specific problems for people, they talk about it like, oh, I went to this guy and he didn't do this like all the other barbers did, which is going to help you grow your clientele. And another thing is just practicing and practically getting better. So once you get to that point where you're doing those free haircuts, you're learning from that, you're trying to learn as much as possible, then I would recommend getting a mannequin, just one, and practice parting hair, practice sectioning hair, understanding head shape. Don't cut it. And the main reason why I say that is because the hair is not going to grow back, and I'm trying to help save you guys money and put you in a better situation for the future. So yeah, don't really cut the hair. Just practice everything you can. And then I would say once you're getting comfortable with that, like you're able to section with ease, create all those sections, start with longer length haircuts. Do a haircut which takes off like an inch from the length of the mannequin. And, repeatedly do that until it gets short enough to be like a medium length haircut. Then practice medium length haircuts. And honestly, I will have to say this process right here is definitely tedious, annoying. No one wants to do it, but doing that is what separates you from a lot of people in terms of skill. You getting those reps in is the most important thing starting off, and if you do this, you'll have an excellent foundation before you even get into the barber field or have any of the pressures of having a chair, going to school, any of that. So after that point, once you feel comfortable, once you start building or noticing that you're building clientele, gauge it, and hopefully you're in a position where you don't need to do free haircuts anymore because you put in the effort. And also, while you have a lot of other responsibilities, I don't know your situation, you may have kids, you may have a full-time job. This process may take you 3 months to do everything I just said, or it might take you a year. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say rush this if you're more worried about risk, because I always loved this quote basically saying risk is a lack of knowledge. The more risky something is, the less you know it. And doing it this way allows you to experience the barber industry in a very soft way. That way you're able to, get your feet wet and gradually enter the barber industry. So once you could see that there's proof of concept, yeah, this business works for me, I'm able to, grow clientele, I'm able to raise my prices, I'm able to function this as an actual business, and I'm able to also get better at the craft, then I would look into going to a barber school or working in a barber shop if you can, So my recommendation when it comes to barber schools, if I'm being honest, I've only been to one, seen many, heard many, I heard people talk about many, should I say. And for the most part, 90% of them are just going to teach you how to pass the state board, and that is fine. You should not be going to a barber school expecting to learn how to cut hair. It's just the sad truth. They're just really more worried about you passing that exam. It's a business for them. And honestly, that's a good thing too, because then you only got to take the exam one time. You've pretty much learned everything you need to do to pass the exam. So once you go to barber school, this right here is going to be the toughest period of time for anyone. And the main reason why I say that is because it is strictly dependent on hours. You need a certain amount of hours to get your license. So, for example, for me, the barber school I went to was a county VOTEC. If I would have known in high school this is what I wanted to do, I would have went to that VOTEC in high school, but it is what it is. For me, it was the definitely the cheapest route and the fastest route. And the reason why I say that, for me, I got a cosmetology license. In a state that I'm in, it's required 1,200 hours, but if you're going to a vocational school, a county school, they only require 1,000. And also, price point wise was definitely a lot more affordable. I think I paid around like 6,000 compared to the prices I've heard from like more private institutions. I've heard of like 20K plus. I've also heard of like 10K, but that's definitely the lower price that I've heard of. And honestly, now I think it's probably going to be cheaper. I mean, it's probably going to be more expensive. Like, I don't know if you could get it for that price anymore. I don't know. Just do your research. Just look at your options. Now, the school I went to, the downsides were you had to start in September. So if you missed that start period, that was pretty much it. And also, you only had 2 kind of time slots. You could be there from about 9 to 3, I want to say, or 9 to 2, something like that. And also there are night classes. I didn't do the night classes, so I didn't know the exact time, start or end time. But if you have a full-time job, that's a big chunk of your day. And honestly, if you have that proof of concept of business, I would say just, scale back on the business. Just cut that short, get your license, sacrifice time, growing that business. That way you're able to just secure that license. Now, during that time period, like I said, it's going to be very rough because of time. You're pretty much going to have 2 full-time jobs at that point, plus what other responsibilities you have. So I would definitely say, whoever is your support system, make them aware, and, just good luck with that. It's just a tough time period for any adult, I would say, that has responsibilities. Now, after that, you get into the shop. I would also still say keep your full-time job while you're in the shop. And the reason for that is because you don't know how you're going to be able to handle that. It's completely different when you're, cutting 1, 2, 3, 4 clients a day compared to having a full day. And also, for me, I was comfortable cutting, the clients I had when I first started, them being my friends. Once I got behind the chair, I got hit with every type of hair, every type of client. And that's great for growth. You'll learn a lot. But also, too, it takes time for you to get good at that. So definitely, take that into consideration. And once I would say once you feel comfortable enough where like you're consistently growing your clientele, you're consistently making, more money, like you consistently see growth, that's at the point where you want to consider, transitioning to full time. Now, once you are a full time barber and this is your only source of income, there's definitely more challenges that come with that. And I'm thinking of making a separate video on that only because of the time constraint on this one. So, I want to say I'll be posting that one next. I'll keep you guys posted. I hope you guys like the cut and just enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you guys.